Hey, everybody, welcome to the latest weekend edition episode of Sports Frenzy 2.0. I am the maestro, Kevin Crane.
I'm the conquistador, Dave Height. And a belated May the 4th be with you as we record on May 4th, but this will hit on the 7th.
Just to get you ready for Free Comic Book Day. Another one of those traditions that's tied into May the 4th. We used up all our Star Wars jokes in the regular Sports Frenzy episode this week, so check that out if you want your Yodas and your Vaders, all that good stuff. Too bad the Elder Statesman isn't here to do his Vader light joke.
Vader
going
Dark.
back, Vader Dark, going back to
VD.
going back to the old Sports Frenzy cable access days.
Made up beer it was.
Oh, those were good times. Those were such good times when we could actually do our Saturday Night Live
skit intros.
Yep.
Oh.
Genius. I'm telling you, we came up with an utter genius format. But those days are long gone now because all you idiots on Twitter and Face Chat and Snapbook and all that garbage. So now cable access is pretty much gone the way of the dinosaur.
Alas, no more clutch cargo interviews.
I'm a 47, 52, 67-year-old man. That would be Greg Oden for those of you.
All right, back to the weekend edition and entertainment. As always, we are kicking off with our music reviews for the week.
Yep, as always, Dave and I are trying to expand our horizons when it comes to music. We're trying to review new stuff each and every week. Number one, thank goodness there is some new stuff, some new rock and roll out there each and every week so far, so we have not been disappointed in the product per se, the volume.
Yeah, we have not had to go down the path of pop.
So we have an album review and two singles for you this week. First off, the brand new album from the Voice of Heart, Ann Wilson's new album, Fierce Bliss. I believe it's her third solo album.
Yep, 11 songs on this one. I don't know where she wanted to go or what she was trying to do with this one.
This is an odd album. It really is. It's got some really good songs on it, and it's got some really awful stuff on it.
Awful stuff.
A lot of mediocre. So,
and does she want to rock? Does she want to be bluesy? Does she want to be poppy? Does she want to just be, why?
So we reviewed the lead-off track, Greed, before, which is a good, solid, unspectacular rocker. Not a terrible song to lead off the album with.
No, but to me, I almost felt it was probably about the strongest song on the album.
It's close. It's pretty close. There are a couple other ones that I didn't mind. Second song being Black Wing. I actually like Black Wing. I think Black Wing is the strongest song on the album.
Black Wing was right there. It's a solid 1-2.
Yeah, Black Wing, when I listen to it, reminds me of almost like her version of Wanted Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
A little bit of a Western feel to it.
Yeah, good call on that.
But yeah, you're right. After that,
it goes downhill.
It gets really hard to find good moments after that. Like you said, good 1-2 punch to start. Bridge of Sighs, didn't care about it.
That one was so disappointing because I loved the guitar intro.
The guitar work on the album overall is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I will say that.
The guitar work is phenomenal, especially to start Bridge of Sighs. I love that whole bit that they did with it, but the rest of the song just blew.
Yeah. Yep. Lumbering, sludgy. Then here's my question about song 4. Did they knowingly, intentionally misspell Fightin' for Life.
I think they did.
Fighten.
No apostrophe.
No. I had to triple check that.
Yeah, so did I. And it doesn't really matter because
it's a terrible song. And then we get to the low point.
This is the worst song on the album. And that's saying something.
Getting fancier. I'll act like I'm a Rolling Stone reviewer. Is this the nadir? Is that the low point? Nadir of the album? Right? Yeah. Love of My Life with Vince Gill.
Oh my God.
Number 1, terrible song. Number 2, Vince Gill. You didn't win me over.
No.
You sound awful on this. I can't believe the Eagles should revoke your membership.
No shit. Your man card should be revoked for this.
This is one of the worst songs I have ever heard.
I have one word. Sucks with 3 exclamations after it. It is awful.
Yeah, this right here, this song probably docks the album one full frenzy. It's so bad. It's so bad. Then we get to the interesting cover of the Eurythmics' Missionary Man. Now, I always like this song. So maybe
Me too. I was excited to hear what Anne would do with it. It didn't do anything for me.
I kind of tried to take the song as it was written lyrically. So you're right. Her performance was kind of uninspired.
Yeah.
But I do like to revisit the song because I always wonder, is this not a brilliant mix of religion and sex when they say missionary man? And we'll get to the Eurythmics here in a couple minutes.
Yeah. No. But again,
it's tolerable.
Yeah.
Then we get 2 more songs that I really didn't care about. Gladiator and Forget Her.
Oh, you can forget them both.
Yep. A Moment in Heaven, song 9 was okay.
It was still lackadaisical.
Another bitter Hollywood song like we had last week with the Black Moods, although much
well
better.
Done.
Yeah.
This one, not so well done.
Angels Blues didn't do anything for me.
No, it was...
I did like the finale. As the World Turns, I thought was a nice final song.
It was all right.
I get the feeling you're gonna rail on this even more than I am, and I'm not giving it a really positive.
I'm giving it 1 friend zone.
Oh wow!
I did not like this at all.
Wow!
I was very disappointed with this one.
Okay, well, I'm giving it 2. Maybe again because I did like a couple more songs than you.
Yeah,
but still, two frenzies is not a ringing endorsement either.
No.
But yeah, this is kind of depressing. In the end, I guess we should just say, and get back with Nancy, get Hart back together again.
No kidding. God, we would be so much better off. All right. So we hit the Black Keys. It ain't over. It's the second. Okay.
Second single off of Dropout Boogie, their upcoming album. And this is one of those bands that I'm not enamored with. But they are technically one of the cool current rock bands. But they just do nothing for me.
It's the same old with them. Their sound does not change. It's exactly what you expect. It's not inspiring in any way.
And again, we'll get to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in a minute. But this makes me just cringe to think that these guys are going to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They should.
For what? Because they're critics' darlings. And that seems to hold the most weight of anything. Popularity doesn't matter. Sales don't matter. Fans don't matter. If the critics love them. But I'm with you. What is the appeal? These guys are so unoriginal to me.
Everything sounds the same.
I'll give It Ain't Over a generous 2 again.
It's a weak 2.
Very weak 2 frenzies, 2. Yeah. I like the first single a lot more.
Yes. This was just...
But this is, like you said, this is typically what you get from the Black Keys. And this is what frustrates me about them and the perception of them.
Which is why you only hear one or two songs of theirs on the radio.
Right.
Because they only have one or two that are worth listening to at this point.
So we go from new school rock to old school rock. Basically, we went from old school to new school, back to old school.
Yes.
Journey, the second single off of their upcoming album, Freedom, is You Got the Best of Me.
This one, I thought I had to double check because I thought it was Night Ranger. The way the guitar and everything introed in. And throughout, it had that Night Ranger feel to it. This was not a typical Journey song.
No, I had two observations on it. I did not get the Night Ranger link. I'm not saying you're wrong. It just didn't pop into my head. Number one, the production on it was really, to me, rough in that I had to listen to it a couple times. I almost thought it was a live track. I remember years and years, decades and decades ago when I bought their live album, Captured. This almost, I did a double take. It almost sounded like an outtake from Captured. I thought for a second, again, through the first listen or two, that it was a live song.
See, now I've got Mrs. C backing me up on.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not disputing you on that at all. I don't know if I would say this is a great Journey song. I would say it's serviceable.
It's kind of catchy.
Yeah, but it doesn't
blow you away.
Right. And the other thing I do want to bring up as kind of a tangent on this is I have a couple guitar players who I think are vastly underrated. Not the showy type guys like Eddie Van Halen or Stevie Ray Vaughan or even Mark Knopfler, my top three guitar gods of all time. But Elliot Easton of the Cars and Neil Schon of Journey, they always seem to play interesting, tight, really good, sonically pleasing guitar parts.
Yeah.
They never seem to let you down.
No, they don't.
And I can say that with You Got the Best of Me is that Neil Schon's guitar is, again, stellar in the song. But I can only I'll go a strong 2 on this.
I'm with you right there.
Strong 2 frenzies.
It's kind of catchy, but it's not over.
It's not going to be once we review the album here in a couple months, it's not going to be the kind of song that pushes me to like or dislike the album. It's going to be filler almost.
Right. It's probably going to be one of those bridge songs.
Right. So I'm sorry, kids, an uninspiring album review along with 2 singles
that are
all mediocre to bad.
Yeah, it's sorry, not a great week on the music front for us.
Nope. Next week, we've got new songs from The Fix, yet another single off their upcoming album, and a new song from Wilco. I'm going to get Dave to listen to some Wilco.
We'll give him a try here and see what we get.
One of my guilty pleasure bands. And then, of course, I am going to get Dave to listen to, it's technically an album, a new release. So don't.
It is a new release, but it's a live show from back a few years.
Over 20 years ago. The Knack live at the House of Blues.
And we like The Knack.
September 2001. Coming out this Friday. The Knack is one of my personal favorite bands of all time. So this is technically a new release, so we're going to review it. We also might, within the next week or two, dabble into the Black Crowes EP of cover tunes from 1972.
Yep.
But now we have to spend the rest of this segment talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Of course, the fan ballot voting ended last Friday, the 29th of April.
Not that it really mattered all that much.
No. And this seemed like a class of catch-all, where they're trying to get everybody they possibly can in this year, so maybe next year they can go and try to go weird and bizarre. So like next year you can expect something like Rage Against the Machine.
Oh God, no.
Or Beck.
Oh, you know what? It would not surprise me if they put both those fucking clusters in.
Well, I talked with you off mic about some of the reaction I saw this morning after the class was announced, the 2022 class, which is Pat Benatar, Eurythmics, Eminem, Duran Duran, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, and winning whatever the fuck this means, the Music Excellence Award, meaning we can't vote them in, but we understand we have to put them in. So finally, the great and the glorious Judas Priest somehow in the back door get in, even though I don't like it at all.
Top of the heap. They should have been the first band in this class.
And you're going to tell me there is not a bias against heavy metal? That you have to do this
big time
this
bias.
kind of bullshit to get Judas Priest in? The Music Excellence Award.
Balls.
Now, basically, they took all of the safe picks in from the class that we were all voting on this year. I was voting every day because I was going to push Judas Priest in. Come hell or high water, by my goddamn self. And it still didn't work. But now here's the thing. I guess maybe I'm getting my sports Hall of Fame mixed up with my music Hall of Fame. But I thought they were limited to 5. So maybe I'm thinking the NFL.
Maybe.
But they put 7 in this time around in the Rock Hall of Fame. And in the end, I don't have a ton of issues with it, even with Eminem, because I know they're going to do what they want to do when it comes to rap and hip-hop.
It is no longer the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, kids. We all must realize it is the Music Hall of Fame. They just have got to realize it themselves and make the name change.
And like I was mentioning, the backlash against Pat Benatar upset me. There was some backlash on that. There were people saying, why isn't Rage Against the Machine in?
Because Rage Against the Machine sucks balls.
And they were talking about, well, the critics matter most.
The critics can suck it.
But again, they're talking about how Rage sold millions and millions of copies. Last time I checked, Pat Benatar has probably outsold Rage Against the Machine 3-1 or 4-1.
At least.
So you bring up sales when it pushes the band you like, but then you'll disparage Pat Benatar because you say she didn't really have a long-term window of success and the critics didn't like her. Fuck you.
Oh, she only ran the 80s.
One of the 3 greatest, in my opinion, female singers of all time. People can argue about the Eurythmics. I really am ambivalent about that one.
They're okay.
Great to see Duran Duran get in. Lionel Richie.
Why is he in solo before the Commodores get in?
That's my point. That's the point we've discussed.
The Commodores should be in.
Commodores were so much better than Lionel Richie. So much better.
Really? Dancing on the ceiling. That's what he gives you.
Hell of a lot closer to rock and roll than Lionel Richie's been solo. Hell of a lot closer. Carly Simon.
Ugh.
I saw one guy commenting about this, said, I can think of 3 songs by her.
Maybe.
And he was trying to be very passive aggressive when he was saying, yeah, I don't have a problem with the current class, but yeah, Carly Simon, I can think of 3 songs and then nothing. He's kind of trying to say, is that worthy enough to put somebody in the Rock Hall of Fame?
If people are going to rip on Pat Benatar not being around long enough, Carly Simon was even less. She had less of an impact on music than Pat Benatar.
And of course, the hot button induction we'll argue about this for a few minutes here because I have a feeling Dave and I will disagree. But Dolly Parton did get in. I think, and I know she's a wonderful person. She does a lot of charity work. Nobody's disparaging that. We can have the argument day and night about whether she's rock and roll or not. Everybody celebrated her this morning for getting in. I think this whole I won't accept the nomination and then at the last minute say, "Oh, I'll go ahead and take it if you give it to me." Crap. I think this is PR. I think this is a brilliant, cunning PR move on her part. She's not as innocent as you people think she is. I think she pulled all this stuff. She's an entertainer. She pulled all this stuff to make sure she got in. Feel sorry for me. I am such a martyr. I'm such a pariah. I know I really am not rock and roll.
I'm not rock and roll.
And I'll do a rock record.
I'll take it.
Oh, and I'll do a rock record if you put me. I want to see her keep that promise.
I want her if she puts out a rock record.
Let's see if Dolly keeps that promise and puts out a rock record. Because remember, she was going all over the place. I'm not rock. I really shouldn't be nominated. Withdraw my nomination. But if I get in, I'll really do a great rock record.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Stop writing a book with frickin' James Damn Patterson.
Oh, God. Cunning, shrewd, and a bit manipulative. I'm sorry, that's Dolly Parton. Again, not criticizing, just telling you, don't fall for the, oh, gee, wow, yeah, these are all natural boobs. I'm a country girl type thing.
They're not.
I just don't like being played, and I think Dolly Parton played everybody to get herself in the Rock Hall of Fame.
Every famous person plays the game. Nobody should be surprised by anything anybody in entertainment says or does. It's all about self-promotion.
Agree. Can't be naive in this day and age, especially. One other person of a country bent who will eventually, I would think, get into the Rock Hall of Fame because the rules are all out the window, would be one Mr. Garth Brooks.
As much country as he has done enough rock covers. The guy is an amazing entertainer. And down in Baton Rouge, on the LSU campus performing, created a minor tremor that registered on the seismographs on campus when he played Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Callin' Baton
Rouge. Great song, and he does it so well. I will be interested to see Garth Brooks coming back to Notre Dame Stadium actually here on the 7th when this hits.
So, of course, next week, Dave will have...
Mrs. C and I are going to this one. We are hoping the weather will be better than the first time he was here in November a few years ago when he filmed the special. That was a lot of start and stop and redoing a lot of things. This is just going to be a straight-up concert. And I am looking forward to it. This will be the 3rd time I've seen him. I will give you a full recap.
There you go, kids. Concert review next week, along with the Knack, Wilco, and the Fix here in our music segment on the weekend edition. Next up, we're going to do some movies. Well, I'm going to do a movie.
You're going to do a movie. We're going to have some news for you, as we always do.
And since Dave does not have a movie review this week, we'll have time in the next segment. We're going to go back to Literary Frenzy. We are going to review a book, the latest.
We are?
Jonathan Kellerman, City of the Dead.
You finally got through it.
Shut up, Dave. God, feels so good to say that. I should say that more often.
You usually
my
do.
doctor told me to release my tension and anxiety.
That was only 10 books ago for me, kids.
Stay tuned. The battle continues between the Maestro and the Conquistador in segment 2.
Hello, this is Will Smith. You might know me as the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You might also know me from Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, and Bad Boys for Life. And now you must also know me as an Academy Award-winning actor for King Richard. Also by now, you know there are 2 things I do not like people talking about in my presence. Namely, my open marriage and my wife's lack of hair. Well, now there is a 3rd thing you do not talk about in front of Will Smith. You do not talk about Sports Frenzy 2.0. My boys Kev and Dave will hit slap the sports world in Hollywood each and every week on Sports Frenzy 2.0 and the Weekend Edition on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, and Stitcher. Just remember, keep Sports Frenzy's name out your damn mouth.
All right, kids, welcome back to the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0, here hitting on May 7th, 2022. I'm the Conquistador, Dave Height.
Along with the Maestro, Kevin Crane.
And we're going to start off with our literary frenzy segment here with City of the Dead by Jonathan Kellerman. Sorry for a little delay here. I had to go back and do a quick recap of what it was because it's been months since I've finished it.
There you go. There's the shot at the Maestro. Because I'm a normal person, I only read 8 or 9 books a year, whereas Dave reads 8 or 9 books a month. But that's okay. I'll take the hit. That's fine. Jonathan Kellerman is one of our favorite authors, at least one of my favorite. I will not presume to speak.
He is
considering the fact you read 75,000 books a year.
He is one of my must-read authors. So bringing back Alex Delaware as the psychologist with Detective Milo Sturgis, working another case together.
Very, very dependable. Year after year, you get an Alex Delaware mystery.
Every so often you kind of get a clunker, but they're reliable. They're still decent, even if it's not up to his normal standards.
Right. That's the thing, is that the story structures are the strength of Alex Delaware's stories, Jonathan Kellerman's writing. You're not going to get a lot of deviation. You're basically going to get dropped into a murder mystery without fail. Milo Sturgis is going to call Alex Delaware in chapter 1 or chapter 2.
Basically, this is the book equivalent of a good TV police procedure.
I've always thought, that's a good point. I've always thought that the Alex Delaware novels, to me, are like watching Law and Order.
Yeah.
Rigid structure, which isn't a bad thing, because if the plot has enough twists and turns, that makes up for most of the other flaws, if you want to call it, like lack of character development. I still, to this day, do not
get rid of his girlfriend, Robin.
The interaction. Some of the greatest authors that we read, James Lee Burke, I've seen criticism of him because he can't write a quote-unquote intimate scene.
Does it really have to be there?
But I will say that Jonathan Kellerman cannot write two people, a man and a woman, who are quote unquote in love, talking, sweetie, honey, oh, you're the best. No, you're the best. Schmoopy,
okay,
schmoopy. I mean, literally, that's almost verbatim. Maybe take schmoopy out, but that's how the interactions with Alex Delaware and his girlfriend Robin go. Every book.
It's supposed to be her grounding him back out of what he deals with as the psychologist with the kids in custody battles and the dark, twisted shit he gets into helping Milo solve murders.
And in the past books, I mean, there's dozens and dozens of books. In the past books, they've had issues where they pretty much went their separate ways because, he didn't want to let her in on the cases that he worked on with Milo.
Trying to protect her.
Right. And now they've kind of come to an agreement on that where he lets her in a little bit, but doesn't give her all the gory details.
Right.
But again, I just get tired of the whole schmoopy stuff. God, that's the one thing that Kellerman cannot write is the person. If that's how things are with his wife, the author Faye Kellerman, God help anybody in that household.
And that's why the kid can't write.
That's true. His son cannot write. Jesse is awful.
Mom and dad are decent writers. The kid is brutal.
So that being said, the latest, City of the Dead, I did not like the fact that it seemed clunky. I was wondering when the title would come into play because it's a cool title. It's an awesome title for a book.
It is.
But it seems like he forced it. He forced it in 3 different times by my count that really didn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah, it didn't quite work for the title.
In the story, it doesn't.
It doesn't jibe with the story.
City of the Dead makes you think of an apocalyptic zombie thriller or a virus.
Yeah, or a serial killer on the loose.
Right. Well, technically, that could fit. But
loosely,
again,
very loosely.
We're not talking about a city full of dead people.
No.
And the other thing that bothered me about this was it seemed like, I don't want to say he wrapped it up quicker than he needed to, but it seems like Alex Delaware gets the case solved due to sheer, pure, utter luck.
Right, which really a lot of cases are solved by sheer luck. And this just wasn't one case. So it morphed and developed, and it had a little more twists than he normally has.
Yeah, that being said, I thought it was good. About average for him.
Yeah, it wasn't his best. It wasn't his worst. It was a middle of the road.
Yeah, so I'll give it 3 frenzies.
Yeah. It's worth reading or listening to if that's your pleasure.
Yep.
But again, he doesn't disappoint with this one. It's what you expect. It's comfort food.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like ordering Domino's pizza. You know what you're getting. As long as they don't screw up the order, It is what it is.
Yep.
All right, I have a movie review. Unfortunately, this was not a good week for me for movies. I'll have another one for you next week that so far I'm not overly enthusiastic about as I try to catch up from my movie viewing over the past 4 or 5 years. Yes, not only do I read slow, but I watch his movies slow.
He is like Forrest Gump.
One of the greatest movies of all time, by the way. So I went back about 3 years to, I believe it was a late summer release, a supposedly raunchy comedy that made surprisingly about $80 million at the box office, a movie called Good Boys.
Yep. Even though it's been out a few years, this is the first viewing for him.
Yes.
So it falls within our realm of being able to review it.
Yes. Now, this does not call for story time. This is the first time I have watched this. So I'll tell you what should have set off the bells and whistles with me is I should have seen that one of the executive producers was Seth Rogen. I should have known right when I saw that.
You know, that
he is really
go either way.
Okay, let me ask you this. Outside of Pineapple Express and maybe The Interview, what the fuck has he really done that's been any good?
His cameos in
The League.
In The League.
But I'm talking movies.
That, nothing.
I told you, I went out to the...
Miri.
I don't give him credit for that. That's Kevin Smith.
Well, there you go.
But I told you, I went to the movie theaters to see This Is the End with all the people in there, with Danny McBride,
James Franco, everybody playing themselves.
Jay Baruchel, a lot of talented, younger, comedic actors. And that was one of the most unfunny, worst movies I'd ever seen in my life.
I did not even finish it. It was that bad.
So you gave it an attempt.
I tried it.
Yes.
And I could not do it.
It was awful.
It was so disappointing. There was so much damn potential that nothing was met.
Yep. And this isn't much better. Good Boys. The kids they've got, the three boys they've got as the lead actors, are not good actors. Number one, they're not endearing. They're not cute. They're not funny. They don't have any charisma or any personality. They can barely say their lines without it seeming like they're reading them off cue cards. The plot is stupid. Will Forte makes an appearance. Lottie frickin' da. Don't care. The only joke that works is there's a running gag. One of the three boys, his parents are kinky. And so I'm not spoiling anything for you. This movie's 3 years old, okay? But they take off with a lot of their sex toys. And so the sex toys make an occasional appearance maybe every 20 minutes. One of the sex toys will pop up and, help develop the plot, let's say. For instance, a dildo ends up being something they use to jam a convenience store door shut so the police don't chase them.
Aren't these the kids who are swinging in the bedroom on the swing?
Oh, that's the very end. Yeah, That's the very end. Yes. They think it's just a fun fuzzy swing they found in the kid's parents' bedroom. And his sister has to come and goes, "That's a thick swing. That's for thick thing." Oh, they don't care. They keep swinging on it. But that's the
Does
only.
that mean the parents are swingers?
I think it would have been more fun to watch them in this movie than the kids. And it tries to straddle the line. It tries to be raunchy.
That's what she said.
It's not raunchy. It tries to be one of those coming of age movies where everybody, are we going to drift apart as friends? Oh no, that's not cool. Well, how will we deal with that? It fails on almost every level, except, like I said, the sex toy jokes keep the movie barely alive. Barely alive. I will give it 1.5 frenzies.
Ouch.
It is definitely not worth wasting your time on. And if this is the kind of snowflake stuff that's considered raunchy now, I'm going to go back and watch Caddyshack and Porky's and Bachelor Party.
And Hot Dog the movie, Up the Creek.
I'm beginning to think Hot Tub Time Machine might be the last.
And that wasn't even that raunchy of a comedy.
But it's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
It's a brilliant comedy. But that might be the last great raunchy / un-PC comedy we see that's actually funny.
Yeah, it's few and far between now, kids.
Yeah, so 1.5 frenzies for Good Boys.
Ouch.
I'm thinking we need to make this a weekly segment. We talked last week about Elon Musk. I think we need to have a weekly Elon Musk update because I just love the dude so much. This week, Elon Musk, of course, as you know, is buying Twitter. And of course, oh my God, talk about a generation gap. My daughter loves AOC.
Oh, God, of course she does.
And of course, I can't stand the woman.
Stupid is inept follows.
Well, you already made one Forrest Gump joke today. Why not another one?
Because I don't want to call my niece stupid. AOC stupid is, as I will say, inept does.
So, of course, AOC went to Twitter and put a lengthy diatribe out there about how Elon Musk daring to take over Twitter and asking that, everybody respect him as he tries to get free speech back on Twitter.
Isn't she one of the ones that was against everything that was being banned
Well,
on there?
I find it funny that the government decided to set up a disinformation board immediately after the Twitter sale went through.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like communism at all. But Elon Musk's response to this rant that AOC went on is classic. This is why I'm loving this guy more and more every week. She went on for 4 or 5 sentences, and he comes back with, "Stop hitting on me."
That's brilliant.
Mic drop
Bye-bye.
right there. That's a mic drop, AOC. Jesus.
You got musked, bitch.
There you go. Oh, my God. Well, we've got TV and streaming coming up next. Some news. We got to look back at the end of Tokyo Vice, at least season 1.
Yep. We've got a few little nuggets coming down the line.
Yeah, Dave and I are a little off when it comes to Outer Range and Killing It, but we'll get there eventually. But stay tuned. We will be right back. Segment 3 on the weekend edition coming up, kids. She walked into my office just as I was reaching for the bottle in my bottom desk drawer. Legs till Tuesday, lips like pillows. "I want to hire you," she said, "to find Sports Frenzy 2.0. "Doll," I said, "that would be the easiest case ever. Sports Frenzy 2.0 is on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Apple, everywhere you listen to podcasts." She nodded to herself, sat down, and smiled. I grabbed 2 glasses. Life was good. And so is Sports Frenzy 2.0. Hey everybody, time to wrap up the weekend edition Sports Frenzy 2.0 taping here on the 4th of May 2022. Yes, May the 4th be with you. This will hit Saturday morning the 7th to get you ready for your weekend. We've already gone through music. Most of it you should stay away from.
Yep, pretty
Movies, stay away from. Good Boys. Book, City of the Dead, Jonathan Kellerman.
much. Worth a read.
Yeah, why don't you pick that up this weekend at your local library?
Save some money, kids.
Now, of course, we've got our TV and streaming segment. We are trying to watch the same shows here. We did both wrap up Tokyo Vice on HBO Max.
Yep, 8 episodes based on Jake Alderstein's memoirs of his time in Tokyo.
There's got to be a season 2.
There has to be a season 2.
This is going to be
based on what you saw at the beginning of season 1
versus what we got at the end of episode 8. Yes,
there has got to be at least a second season.
Yeah, too many unanswered questions, too many things left hanging out there. Overall, I loved it. I
thought the first started off slow, but man, I got into this, and like you, I love this.
Yep, Tokyo Vice is very entertaining, very enjoyable, well acted. You're gonna have to put up with subtitles. A lot of it is obviously in Japanese.
Deal with it. It's worth reading. the story.
Yep. I will say strong 3 frenzies for me.
I was going to go a week 3.5.
Pretty close.
So pretty damn
similar.
close.
Pretty similar. Now, of
Very
course,
good.
I am still getting through Outer Range. Dave has yet to start it, which is fine.
Yep.
It's through 6 episodes right now on Amazon Prime, and it just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I don't know where this thing is going to end up going. I really don't. All I know is the lines are getting a little more well-defined in terms of who the bad people are and who the good people are. But there are still a lot of mysteries and a lot of backstory questions that need to be answered. So now I don't know how many episodes this is going, but the way things are with streaming right now, usually it could be anywhere from 8 to 13. So
yeah, you never know. You got 8 out of Tokyo Vice, and then.
And the thing that was weird about Tokyo Vice, which threw me, was that first week was 3, and then they went 2, and then they went 2, and then 1 the final week.
No, just drop them all and be done with it.
Like with Reacher, that was the best way to do it. Let us watch it at our own pace.
If we want to
binge
blow
it
through it, let us blow through it. If we're on a roll and into it, don't screw us over like you get with the regular weekly serials on network.
Right. And not only regular network stuff, but of course Disney Plus pulls this stuff too.
Right.
So that's why I've been holding off on Moon Knight. Now, tonight, as we tape, is the final episode. It's only a 6-episode run.
Yeah.
So I'm going to knock out the last couple episodes of Moon Knight, and I'll have that review for you next week. I will also get finished up with Killing It.
Yes,
I feel bad.
To.
I feel bad. I got roped in. I said I was going to hold off on Outer Range, and I got roped in instead and watched 2 more episodes of that. So now I still have 2 episodes left of Killing It, so I've got to finish that up.
I will hold off on my rating of Killing It. Craig Robinson's Peacock show of snake hunting in the Florida Everglades. 10 episodes for season 1.
Is it 10?
Yep.
Oh, all right. I got like 4 to go then.
Oh!
That's all right. I'll get them knocked out. They're only half an hour each.
So.
All right. No problem. I will get that knocked out for next week. Now, some streaming news. Dave says he's got a surprise for me coming up. I want to ask you about this, though, because we brought this up. I know you were a big fan of Bosch on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Then I mentioned to you that there was this new show called Bosch Legacy. Have you checked that out yet at all?
I have not.
Because it's already been renewed for season 2.
And what was that on? Is that on
the thing is,
Prime?
Because
I know they're doing the Lincoln Lawyer.
Right. I know that's coming up.
I think it might have started. I have to check on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I made notes on it a while back.
Yeah, Bosch Legacy.
It was on. The reason why I hesitate is because they just went through a transition where it was on IMDb TV, which is linked to Amazon. Now they've changed the name of it. I think it's called Freevee. I don't know why they decided to rebrand it. That just happened within the last week or so. But I believe
more crap that I don't want to have to deal with.
Well, I figured since you like Bosch so much that you should know.
Yeah, I might try if it's easy to get a hold of. I might take a look at it.
Well, it's linked. If you have Amazon Prime, you'll have access to it.
Okay.
It's like
we'll try and go through Prime to get to it.
You can. All right. Because it's like I told you last month when I was looking for some old TV and I watched Banachek.
Yeah.
That was on
this
IMDb TV /Freevee thing. And I just watch it through Amazon Prime.
Okay. There we go.
All right. Other news. We gave up on the CW's DC series a long time ago because they got too stupid and too politically correct. But it looks like finally, the rest of you are catching up and realizing these shows suck because now they have officially canceled not only Batwoman, but they have finally brought to a merciful end DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, thank God. That got so bad.
Yeah, I had to quit on that one when they did the episode where they went back in time and, wait, Barack Obama. Oh my God, you're such a hero.
That might have been the season we bailed on it too.
I want to say that was the end of season 3. I could be wrong.
We may have stuck out for a little bit longer, but I was done with it earlier, but we watched it with the boys, and when they finally said, this is ridiculous, we pulled the plug and said,
you got, great role model Sarah.
Whore.
Yeah, sleeps with anybody, man or woman she can find, including Constantine, which was the only redeeming factor they had there after a while. I think they knew the show was flagging, and they brought in Constantine, who was great.
The guy playing him was phenomenal.
But, again, I've given up on all those shows. The Flash I gave up on a year ago. Batwoman.
You stuck with the Flash longer than we did.
Yeah. I didn't even dare. I didn't watch a single goddamn minute of Batwoman.
Oh, no.
So maybe they're getting to the point now where they're figuring out that
maybe
the
people
PC
are sick of this stuff.
The PC crap doesn't work quite as well as you think it does.
So, all right. Peacemaker. Gearing up for that. There's talks with Viola Davis to reprise her role as Amanda Waller coming on for the series. I like it.
Now, I read the same thing probably you did. I thought she was going to be doing a different series. I didn't think she was coming back for Peacemaker. I thought she was coming back for a different spinoff.
Okay, maybe that was it. I don't know. But keeping her as Amanda Waller is brilliant, though. She plays that role beautifully.
Yep. And the DC stuff, we talked about the CW, that stuff's crap. The stuff they're putting on HBO Max has been fantastic so far. Oh my
God, it's brilliant.
Between Titans,
it's awesome.
Peacemaker, Doom Patrol,
raw.
The Dead Boy Detectives coming soon.
Oh God, I can't wait. I like those guys.
Yep.
All right, now Roku is coming up with a biography about Weird Al Yankovic.
Starring Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it. I don't know how to take that.
I know.
I was never the biggest Weird Al fan to begin with, so I don't know. If I hear good things,
take it or leave it.
If I hear good things,
I
might watch it.
We'll see.
Now, one of the few, if maybe the only, decent, okay, non-political late-night talk show hosts, of course, is leaving. James Corden is leaving the Late Late Show next year, signed a 1-year extension to get him through into 2023. Now, I don't watch him, but I've never seen him do anything other than the car karaoke.
And
it seems like he's fun. He's non-offensive.
Yeah.
And of course, now that means what? Now we're going to open up another slot for another political left-wing hack
crap
to take over.
See, I'm surprised they haven't run Fallon off the air.
Fallon would be the next one, yeah. In terms of
he tries to play it middle. He tries to stay as apolitical as possible too.
Yet somehow all you hear about is Kimmel and Samantha Bee and Stephen Colbert. Your reservations on the Sports Frenzy Plane of Doom are ready for you.
Now boarding.
Oh, I'd put all 3 of them in the front row.
We don't have enough front rows for everybody. Somebody's got to be at the wings with the gas. or with the fuel.
That's fine. If we're going to make that the quote unquote prime seat, we can work with that.
We can work with that.
Of course, I mentioned to Dave, rumors broke. I believe early last week, Jensen Ackles let the cat out of the bag that Jared Padalecki, his longtime brother on Supernatural, had gotten in a serious car wreck down in Texas, and now details are coming out about that. It sounds like his cousin was driving, took a turn way too fast.
Yep.
Went up on an embankment, hit a steel utility pole.
Ugh.
So maybe Ackles was not exaggerating that, Padalecki's lucky to have come out of that
Alive.
just with a hospital stay.
Yeah. That's a scary thought right there.
Yep. Almost as scary as watching yet another episode of Walker.
Which, thankfully, I have not subjected myself to.
We've got Ackles coming up in season 3 of The Boys, though, so
yes,
there is that.
Oh, God, yes. Looking forward to that.
Thanks a lot, Will Smith. Thanks a lot. We knew it was coming. We knew your stupid behavior at the Oscars was going to spawn a whole bunch
of asshole
wannabes doing just what you did, except now escalating the situation.
Yep. Dave Chappelle, doing his stand-up at the Hollywood Bowl, was attacked on stage by somebody from the audience. Tackled. And thank God his security guys, and I know you're not a fan of him as an actor, but Jamie Foxx jumped in with the security immediately.
Good for him.
Getting this guy off Chappelle. Good for them for breaking this guy's arm.
I was going to say, that's all I heard. They busted his arm up pretty good.
Hell out of this guy.
Busted his arm up pretty damn good.
It's come out, this guy had a fake gun
that launched knives, right?
Knife.
Yeah. So he was armed in a sense.
Yeah. And thank God they got to him so quickly. And that could have been bad.
And of course, somehow the fates, the Hollywood celebrity fates came into play. Chris Rock was there.
He goes, "Who let Will Smith in?"
Yeah, we shouldn't make light of it, but that was funny. That was damn funny.
That was good.
Damn funny.
All right, that was not quite the direct quote.
Paraphrasing.
Something similar.
That's close enough. Yep, definitely close enough. So, yeah, God help us. Please stop with this.
Don't be an asshole as a fan. Please. Go. Enjoy a show. Don't be stupid.
Again, we are proponents of free speech here, even though the government's going to start cracking down on it, the Ruskies. But Dave Chappelle has the right to say what he wants to say, whether you like it or not. If people are going to pay for tickets to see it, guess what? That's their right as well.
Obviously, some people want to be entertained by him and find him funny still. Laugh at yourself. If you take yourself way too damn serious, you're in trouble, people.
Yep. Live and let live, okay? You don't have to criticize everybody out there. You don't have to pick a fight or wage a war with everybody out there that you don't agree with. Trust me, I've tried. I have tried.
People don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with everybody. That's what makes life beautiful. You don't have to get militant, violent. Have a discourse. Be able to agree to disagree.
Exactly,
we do it all the time.
Exactly. Those 3 words are exactly what I was going to say too. Agree to disagree. Grab a beer. Grab a drink. I don't agree with you.
You don't agree
with
me.
But we don't have to be enemies. Just move on to a topic that we can both relate to or that we both enjoy to diffuse the situation.
Do not let the politics of this country tear us apart any further than they already have.
Yeah, and of course now with the Supreme Court leak, with Roe versus Wade. God help
It
us all for
starts
this.
with the damn politicians. It
Yep.
continues down through the media. Do not buy into the bullshit. Think for yourself.
Couple other tidbits here.
Be human.
It's official. I still haven't seen when this goddamn show's going to be on Netflix, but I can't wait. That 90s show.
Oh my God.
Everybody except for Danny Masterson has now officially signed contracts. Everybody, Donna, Eric, Fez, Kelso, Jackie are all coming back.
Oh, Red and Kitty.
Of course, they're on every episode as they are the Rock,
The
cornerstone.
grandparents.
Yep.
Oh,
Cannot wait for this.
so looking forward to it. I think we have to come up with a game. Every time Kitty drinks, we drink.
Oh, jeez. I thought you were going to say every time she gets plastic surgery.
That too.
Deborah Jo Rupp has had some work done recently. You could tell.
Yep.
She was in WandaVision. So that's why I kind of remember what she looks like now versus what she used to look like on that 70s show. All right. I have a trivia question for you. You should get this. This is easy. But I saw this little article. We don't cheer. We in this case, I think we actually mourn one of the longer running marriages coming apart in Hollywood. Dan Aykroyd and Donna Dixon are calling it quits after 40 years, nearly 40 years of marriage. Now, here's my question to you, O guru of useless cultural knowledge. Now, we talked about a movie recently involving Dan Aykroyd, Dragnet.
Right. With the Virgin Connie Swale.
We were discussing The Naked Gun, the reboot,
right,
possibly with Liam Neeson. Here's my question to you. If I give you Dragnet, given the split between Dan Aykroyd and Donna Dixon, I'm giving you Dragnet. You tie everything together for me and tell me how it all works, where Dragnet links Dan Aykroyd and Donna Dixon. Oh, come on. This is a softball, dude. Who did Dan Aykroyd star in Dragnet with?
With Tom Hanks.
Uh-huh. Where did Tom Hanks star with Donna Dixon? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. No,
it wasn't Bachelor Party.
TV show. It was the
Bosom Buddies.
Yes. Tom Hanks and Donna Dixon starred in the most criminally underrated TV show of all time, Bosom Buddies, with Pete Scolari.
Yep.
And when one of the women, I remember because her name sounds so sexually offensive.
Not TV show.
Wendy Jo Sperber. All right, time to move on. Joking around enough. Time to move on to more serious things. Moments of silence here in the entertainment world. Of course, the big one this week, even though I'm not a country music fan, is Naomi Judd passing away.
Unfortunate suicide. Battling the demons of depression. Thought she had beaten it back in the day, wrote her book, River of Time.
And of course,
it's a bitch, kids.
They had to go and accept, I believe, Country Music Hall of Fame nomination, if I'm not mistaken, a few days after.
Right after, yeah. It was.
We we give a lot of grief to some of these people, especially athletes who we think are playing the system when it comes to
Their
depression
mental-
and mental health. But we're not disparaging people.
No, if you need help, get it. Talk to somebody.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah. Nobody's saying that you should.
We've had too many young college female athletes of late. We haven't hit on it on the sports show. But we've had a rash of them of late, on top of the world, having everything, their future is bright, and they've committed suicide. If you can't cope, talk to someone. It's don't do that to your friends and family. You may think it's the only way out, but you're ruining everybody else's life. Think about others. Get the help you need. Please.
Yeah, the people we give a hard time to are the ones who are multi-millionaires who
I
bail
can't
out.
deal with it. But I'm going to go front and center on front of the camera on this. Oh, no, I can't deal with. But here I am again.
Yep. Yeah, that's why we give Naomi Osaka a hard time. That's why we give Megan Rapinoe a hard time. She's got a new ad out that I just want to throw something through the TV every time she comes on. We're not talking about massive mega celebrities who want to whine and bitch and piss and moan and cry about how awful their life is. We're talking about you and I, the common people, the middle class, the up and coming young athletes. You guys need help. Get help. Talk to somebody.
Yeah. And even with Naomi Judd, famous person, she'd gotten help before. She started spiraling again and didn't get help. If you need it, get it. Please.
Yeah. Don't worry about the insurance. Don't worry about the cost. Get the help, because the help is more important than the cost. I know that it's easier said than done in terms of paying the bills and the back end. But if you're not around,
think of the people you love. Think of the people who love you. Nothing is that bad that you cannot work through it.
old school actor. I don't know why this one resonated with me, but I think it was more because of who he was married to. But David Burney passed away.
Yep, and I had him as well.
Meredith Baxter Burney, of course, the matriarch on Family Ties.
Yep. He had some bit roles.
Yeah, nothing that really stood out, but I tell you, when I saw that he passed and I saw that picture, I'm like, I've seen him in so much stuff.
He's one of those character actors where you go, oh, he's that guy from...
Yep. Now, of course, we're dating ourselves because that stuff is back when we were kids, back in the 70s and early 80s.
Early 80s.
Yep. Well, we have lost the drummer from Spinal Tap.
No more taking it to 11 for him.
Mick Shrimpton, of course, real name Rick Parnell, has passed away. And then finally, on a personal note, as the comic book geek that I am, and of course, when this hits on the 7th of May,
on Comic Book Day,
Free Comic Book Day, one of my favorite artists of all time, resuscitated Batman in the early 70s, Neil Adams, passed away. So thoughts and prayers to his family. If you haven't, even if you're not a comic book person, there are certain artists that you've got to see. Neil Adams is one of them. The artwork, I love. Mark Teixeira is another one. Alex Ross. I mean, there are some people that go above and beyond being comic book artists, and they are actually true artists. And Neil Adams was always one of those guys to me. Well, I think that's going to do it, Dave.
I think so. That should Wrap
just in
things
time
up
too,
for
because I
us.
think we've got a date with the Death Star. And yes, I couldn't resist getting one last lame Star Wars May the 4th joke in.
There you go.
And
As long as you didn't reference Jar Jar Binks.
sad thing is, you realize I still have not watched all 9 movies. I've only watched 7. I have not watched the final 2. I might have to do it. I know I said
I have
earlier that I would
have
not be watching.
watched the final one yet.
See, I didn't watch 8 or 9.
See, I got through 8.
I was so disappointed in The Force Awakens that I just never really cared about the final 2, because The Force Awakens was basically a rehash of the original Part 4 to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe at some point here I will try to catch up. I still haven't watched Rogue One. I still haven't watched Solo. I haven't watched any of the stuff on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, you've seen the meme on why everything was out of order. In charge of production, was I?
That's not bad. That's not bad. Now, I can't even go to my usual backup argument where I say I'm a Star Trek guy more than a Star Wars guy, because I've even fallen out with the Star Trek stuff, because the new stuff they're doing is kind of like what we discussed with the CW and the DC
Going
stuff.
so damn PC over the top.
Oh my
with
God.
Picard
and the latest regular Star Trek series, Discovery, is just as bad. Now, the new one, Strange New Worlds, is starting. That one really intrigues me, because that one features Christopher Pike, the original commander from the beginning. Supposedly, we're going to get a glimpse of a young James T. Kirk, Spock. And now, of course, who's playing Christopher Pike is one of our favorite actors from Hell on Wheels, Anson Mount.
Oh, God, he's good.
So I'm still not going to get Paramount Plus, but
nope, not going to happen.
Maybe this one will be better than the first 2.
Can only hope.
Yep. All right. Say goodnight to the people, Dave.
Good night to the people, Dave.
He's a conquistador.
He's the maestro.
Take care, kids. We'll talk to you next week.